Hi, my name is Olivia, and today I'm going to share 10 of my easy, natural, clean swaps that you can make to your medicine cabinet to make things a little bit safer for you and your family. So these 10 things I personally have used, they're all right here, and I have used them not only on myself but for my family. I have a husband and a about 19-month-old, and I am also currently pregnant about 31 weeks with my second baby. So these things a lot of them have been lifesavers, but the number one thing that has made a world of difference with our health throughout everyone in our family, I'll get to that later in this video, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so the very first swap that I made was this Genexa brand Pain and Fever. So this is very, very, very similar to Tylenol. So it has the same active ingredient, which is acetaminophen. So this is basically Tylenol without all the gross stuff. So if you check out a ingredient list of Tylenol, you're going to see that there is red dye 40, and there's sucralose and high fructose corn syrup and something that's called flavors. I don't know what flavors is in their ingredient list. It's not very specific to me. So there's just things in there along with other words that I don't know. So there are just things in Tylenol that I don't agree with and I don't want to give my son. And if you have the option between this, which is the same thing as Tylenol without those things in it, why would you not choose this? I don't know. The only thing I can come up with is if you don't know that this exists. So this was my first swap. As I learned more and more, I realized that when my child has a fever, or when I have a fever, my husband, whatever, fevers are not actually bad like typically I grew up thinking. So it's our body's reaction to whatever's going on. It's our body trying to kick in and fight and get whatever gross thing it's fighting off. And so fever is not a bad thing, and it's not as big of a deal as I have made it in the past in my life. And so although I have this, it's definitely not something that I gravitate towards or grab. I usually just let things ride unless there's like other things going on. Then of course I'm going to step in and see what else we need to do. But this is a great swap if you are looking for something that doesn't have the dyes, the sugars, the gross stuff in it. So another one of the first swaps I made was this Genexa brand laxative. So during pregnancy, postpartum, those types of things, I sometimes have a problem and I need a stool softener. And so this has been really helpful for me. I did not even think to look at the ingredients when I've taken stool softeners in the past, but if you look at them, almost every single one I can find has different dyes in them, and they usually have the same active ingredient as this. And so this is just a much cleaner version than the other laxatives that you can get. So some of the things that I found in other laxatives as inactive ingredients are red dye number 30, yellow dye number 10, 5, and 6, and talc, which is linked to cancer. If you're wondering why it's such a big deal to put these food dyes, colorings into our bodies, just know that a lot of these have been linked to cancer, autism, ADHD, ADD, all those types of things. And so why take the risk and put that in your body and in your children's body when you don't have to, and there's other options. So that's why I really like this Genexa brand laxative. So before I get too far into this video, I just want to mention that, of course, I'm not a doctor or nurse. Don't take this as medical advice. This is just what I have personally used and found and researched for my own family, and this is what I feel comfortable using. Of course, if there was some accident in my family, I pray that that does not happen, but if there was ever any type of situation where I needed modern medicine, I needed to go to the ER, hospital, anything like that, of course I'm going to do it, and it's such a privilege. We live in the day and age to have those things. But if we don't have to put things like high fructose corn syrup and dyes into our body and into our kids, then why do it? I don't know. Another reason why you want to make these switches in your medicine cabinet is because when you're using antibiotics, it messes with your gut microbiome, so it can kind of destroy the good bacteria that is in there, and that is really important for our health. And so that's another reason why I have thrown away all of our antibiotics, anything like that that's in our pantry currently. So next up, let's talk about Manuka honey. I have seen so many things recently about how amazing this is. So I personally have used it for wounds, scrapes, things like that. It is an antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and antiviral. And so this is super helpful for that. It also can be helpful for oral wounds, sores, things like that, oral health. It's also been shown to help with digestive issues. So there's just a whole host of things that this can be used for. But I personally, like one time my son fell, like face planted out of his stroller, and he was like all scraped up all over the face, hands. Ugh, it was horrible. Anyways, I put this on all of his little scrapes and wounds to protect it and to hopefully heal it faster, and it just worked really well. So one thing I will mention, just because it is honey, if you don't know this already, they recommend that, the world recommends, I guess, that you don't give your child honey before the age of 1. So that's something that you might want to be aware of and just think about. It's kind of weird that like once you turn 1, it's cool to give you honey, but yeah, they're concerned about infant botulism, so you can definitely look that up and like make the call for yourself on what you want to do and how old your child is. But this is just something really great to have on hand, in my opinion. So another thing I added to my medicine cabinet was this lavender essential oil, like it's a roll-on. And so, first of all, I think it smells really good, but it can help with teething and with muscle pain. It is also a natural antiseptic, and it has this natural like calming effect and pain relief effect. Before you use this on a 6-month or under baby, you might want to look into it because there are some risks involved that I've seen just with potentially using essential oils directly on baby's skin. So I think my son was maybe like 8 months, 10 months whenever I started using this on him, and I would just roll it on his jaw if he had really bad like teeth ache and when teeth were coming in. And so I found that this was helpful. And it's just a calming, soothing smell. Plus I have lavender essential oil that I'll put in a diffuser, which also can help that as well. Okay, one of my absolute favorites and something that I will continuously buy and have on hand and rave about is this little guy. So this is a homeopathic remedy. They're little pellets inside. They're just tiny little balls that you dissolve under your tongue. They're super easy to take, and this thing works like magic in my opinion. So if you have allergies, runny nose, anything like that, this can be really, really helpful. As I looked more into this, this is going to also be great if you have like a reaction to a bee sting, any kind of skin reaction, skin irritation, or itchy eyes, anything like that. So if you're anything like me and my family growing up, all my life, whenever you had allergies, whenever the seasons changed or whatever, when you had a runny nose, eyes, itchy, whatever, you run to the drugstore and you get an antihistamine. And essentially what that does, it blocks your body's histamine receptors. So that is going to, in the short term, it's going to clear up your sinuses and help you feel better, but it's not teaching your body anything. And as soon as that wears off, you're gonna have to take another. So that's why generally whenever I would take allergy medicine, you continue to take it until maybe the season ends or until whatever, until you stop taking it and you don't have the runny nose anymore. So this little guy, it's called histaminum. I really hope I'm saying that correctly, but I will post links of where to get all these things in the description if you need, and to, see if my grammar is correct. Anyways, histamine, it's naturally occurring in our cells and in our tissues of our body, plus it's naturally occurring in like bee stings, wasp stings, and in jellyfish. So when you're taking this histamine, it's kind of the opposite of what you're doing with the antihistamine. You're retraining your body to fight off whatever that allergy, whatever is causing that allergy for you. So what this says to do is take 5 of the little pellet balls, you put them under your tongue, let them dissolve for every 15 minutes for an hour. And if your symptoms resolve by then, you don't have to keep taking them. And honestly, that's how I did it at the very beginning, and it worked really great. But I learned if I just take 2 of the little doses every 15 minutes, then generally after like 2 or 3, I am good to go. And another thing that this does, it is retraining your body, and so you won't have as many like allergy flare-ups, and you'll have longer stretches where you feel good in between, if that makes any sense. So basically, instead of like normal allergies, you get them all the time and you take the medicine until you don't need it anymore. This is going to help you not have those regular allergies, and you're going to have more stretches of feeling good and feeling better. Because whenever I first started taking this, I probably had like 3 sets of like allergies and runny nose and all those things. And I have not taken this in months because I just feel so good, and that's not how it was at the very beginning. So I know there's a lot of factors that play into this, but I am telling you, if I had a runny nose and I took this, I'm going to be clear, and that is not the case for whenever I take medicine from the drugstore. So this, seriously, I love this, even though I don't need it anymore, and I'm so thankful and grateful, but this has been awesome. So I also have this Chestol. It is cough and mucus. It's from the same company as the last little homeopathic pellets, Boreon, which I really like. And what they don't have is artificial dyes and flavors and preservatives. They don't have that in any of the stuff that I've ever bought or looked into. So I'm pretty sure you're clear, but definitely check whenever you go to buy anything from them. But I just feel a lot better about using them because the ingredients are clean. There's also no sugars or artificial sweeteners or flavors in their medication. And so this is, I think I bought this one like the adult version, but there's also a kids version that you can buy as well. So this relieves chest congestion, cough, and minor throat irritation. So I've used this, my son has used this, and it has been just really helpful in my opinion. So this is another one of those things that I would recommend having in your medicine cabinet. So as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the number one thing that has truly changed the health of my whole entire family is our nutrition. So of course it's good to have like these medications and things and homeopathy and different essential oils and whatever, natural medication, honey, garlic, all the things. Those things are really awesome to have, but I don't want to rely on those things. Nutrition is the number one thing I believe to keep our families safe and not sick. So I'm not going to go into crazy detail about our nutritional changes and all those things because maybe that's a video for another day, but I just want to quickly mention that changing our nutrition has made my husband sick less often. My son has virtually not been sick. He's been sick one time, honestly, and that's pretty much it. And I'm so grateful and thankful for that. And I know that there's a lot of factors that go into that, but I really believe that the nutrition is a huge piece. And then for me personally, oh my gosh, it has changed. I used to have all these bumps on my forehead, which have completely cleared up. And I used to have really, really bad nutritional or digestive issues, really bad gas, like painful and horribly smelling. I'm sorry for the TMI, but horrible. And that has gone away. Crazy amount of bloat that I used to have, and super, super sensitive teeth. I used to have, sometimes I still have it, is this eye twitch. I don't know, I don't feel it at all, but it was so bad that every time I couldn't concentrate and look at people because my eye twitch was so bad. and all those things have cleared up. And it is just super awesome, super cool to see in real time, just all those types of things. Oh, and really, really low energy as well. So all those things have been healed, helped, improved. And so I'm just super grateful and thankful that I have learned these things about our nutrition. Plus, a big piece is changing the antibiotics going into our system and just the products in our house and all those types of things. So it all plays a role. It's all important. So I'm super excited to keep sharing these medicine swaps for your household. So another thing that I cannot rave about enough is this teething relief from Boreon, Camilla. I'm assuming it's Camilla. I'm going to call it Camellia because that's how I've been saying it. But if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Anyways, this is amazing. It not only is for teething relief, but also like minor irritation, and it can help with minor like tummy issues. So this is super, super awesome and helpful, and I have bought so many of these. So when my son has any teething issues at all, I will give him one of these. They're little, I'm just going to open it so you can see. So it looks like this. You just pop one off and take the cap off, give it to your child. And I am telling you, this has worked so, so well for his teething. It is absolutely amazing. Whenever he can't sleep because his mouth hurts so bad, and he's just like really irritable and just not doing well, I will give him one of these, and I'm telling you, within 5 minutes he's asleep. Like it is so helpful for him. And again, this doesn't have any of the sugar, lactose, flavors, dyes, colors, artificial sweeteners, preservatives, benzocaine. Like it has nothing like terrible in it that you would find in like Orajel or whatever. Like this is a clean version of teething medication that is very calming, and I love it so much. This has been a lifesaver. Another thing that I failed to mention earlier, along with the nutrition piece, which is just wild to me, there are things that you can have that you can like reverse. So for example, if you have cavities or your kid has cavities, there are ways with nutrition to actually heal your cavities. Is that not crazy? I have never known this. I thought if you got a cavity that you had to get a filling or had to get it fixed or whatever. Like I didn't know that there was ever another option, but there is. And it's real, and people are able to do this just by nutrition. So anyways, number one thing, nutrition is super important. Anyways, I'll keep going with the point of this video. So this is another one that has been useful. This is Cold Calm by, again, the Boreon company. And I think I bought this because I was having some like runny nose issues, and so was my son at a point, and I just didn't know if I didn't feel 100% confident in giving him this, which was working super well for myself, but he was really little at the time, and I wasn't sure. And so I bought this instead to use for him because it's specifically for babies. And again, it doesn't have any of the sugar, preservatives, dyes, all those things. So this is clean, and I just felt better about using this when he was really little. Now he's 19 months old, and I have given him that and these little pellets, and it's super easy for him to take, unlike like a pill or like really gross cough medicine type stuff. He will happily let this dissolve in his mouth, which is really cute. But if you have a little one, I would rather do this, I would think, just because it's made specifically for babies. So this is something that I keep on hand, and I will continuously keep on hand for this next baby if we have any issues with sneezy, runny nose, things like that. And again, like fever, you don't really have to intervene. Like our bodies are created so wonderfully that we're able to, for the most part, like fight off sickness. And of course, again, I'm not a doctor, not a nurse, I'm not telling you what to do, not medical advice or anything, but for small things, like our bodies are really, really strong and able to handle little things like that. But if I personally have a runny nose and it's bothering me, and I am an adult who's able to blow my nose and get the snot out, and then I have a little child who is having the same thing, but can't blow their nose, and the booger sucker's not working because it's just like runny and constantly falling into his mouth, like, and I have the ability to help him out, I am going to. Maybe you don't feel the same way, that's fine. But just like something like a runny nose, it just like really, I feel like that's kind of mean to like let that continue if I can stop it. And yeah, so that's my personal feelings, but you do whatever feels best for you. So I also have these little tinctures. So these, you basically put a few drops into something else. Like you could put it in apple juice or coconut water, or I guess you could put in water, but it might taste a little funky. These have been helpful. So chamomile is a natural antimicrobial. It has like the calming effect. It can be a pain reliever. So this can be helpful for teething, colic, fussiness, mainly in like little kids, but also if you have like anxiety, insomnia. I've also heard that this can be helpful for that in like adults. Basically what I found by using this is just like more of a soothing thing, and it has like a calming effect, and my son, he doesn't mind using this, plus it's natural, and so I feel good about using this, and it's just one of those things I have on hand if for some reason I need it. So I also have clove, which can be good for like gas and digestion, but the main reason why I bought it is because it can help with tooth pain, mouth pain, and all these things I use on myself before I use on my child as well. So I think that that's also helpful for peace of mind when you're using something that you aren't used to, didn't grow up using, like your parents aren't using this, and so you're like trying this new thing. It's not just like Tylenol, which in reality all these in my opinion are safer than that. Not to dig Tylenol, and if you give your child Tylenol, who cares? Do whatever feels right for you. Totally not judging, but I'm just saying that whenever you're trying something new, it can be a little weird. But this has like this like numbing effect, which is really nice if you have any kind of mouth or tooth pain. So from my experience and what I've read and learned, you want to dilute it. I just like dilute it a little bit with something, and then I'll like put it on a rag or maybe even just my finger, and I'll put it on the spot that is hurting, and you can definitely try it on yourself, and you will feel like a little numbing on your gums, which is really cool. And so I have used this with my son, but you definitely might want to be wary of using this on like little tiny babies. Especially I would suggest diluting it. And with all of these things, do your own research so that you feel confident in what you're doing and what you're giving to your child. So those are just a few of the things that I've swapped and learned about and I feel really good about using, and I just wanted to share those. If you have any questions, please let me know in the description. And of course, there's so many other things that you can use and you can learn about and you can make and buy, like red light therapy can be really awesome for like earaches and skin. And there's also things like elderberry syrup, which can be really great for a lot of different things, especially with kids. And there's so many other like little natural remedies. For example, garlic and honey, those things can be used for a ton of different things. Onions, like there are so many really great things out there, natural things that we can use aside from medication. But I do want to mention, when I first started learning about this and I dove into homeopathy and all the things, I thought that I had to know everything about everything, and I was super overwhelmed, and I just thought, if my son gets any kind of ailment, I need to know before he even gets it what I need to do, what I need to buy, what I need to make, everything. Like I thought it was all on my shoulders, but truly it's not. And also your kid, especially when you focus on nutrition, your kid is going to be all right. And for the most part, this is not medical advice, but for the most part, our kids are going to be healthy and strong, and they're going to be awesome, and their bodies are made to fight things off. So you don't have to know everything about everything. So I was just super overwhelmed at the beginning, and I feel so much more at peace now. And I know that whatever comes, we're going to figure it out, and it's all going to be okay. And I just wanted to say that before, I don't want this video to be overwhelming to anyone at all. So that is all I have. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything to tell me or whatever, let me know in the description below. I love hearing especially nice things from people. So let me know, and I will see you in the next video.